In the immortal words of Eric Bischoff, I am back and I'm better than ever. Welcome to Square Pegs, everybody. I'm Jay, glad you're here. I'm a former game industry employee. I worked there for about 7 years in the quality assurance department. Started out as a tester, worked my way up to senior management, and I am kind of on a game collecting journey again. For those that don't know, I got rid of pretty much all of my retro games about 10 years ago and kind of immediately regretted it. But it wasn't something where I was really looking out to collect those games again until I got the wild hair up my ass in COVID to start this channel up. And actually, it's my 6-year anniversary a couple of days ago, which is pretty crazy. Started the channel, abandoned it, then COVID, started it back up. One of the tools that I've been using to reestablish my retro game collection has been Video Games Monthly. What Video Games Monthly is, it's a monthly subscription service where you can get 3, 4, 5, 10, or 20 games sent directly right to your front door. And what I do is I get a 5-pack of games sent to my door. I get games for the NES, Famicom, Game Gear, Master System, Genesis, Dreamcast, GameCube, Wii U. There's other ones in there that I can't remember. N64. Always forget the N64. Shame on me. But I get those games sent directly to my front door. I unbox them here. We show them to you. I hold them up to the camera. You look at them before I do because I am old. My eyes don't work. And you find out what it is before me. I do about a 60-second to 2-minute review of each game. We come back. And the thing I do at the end is I total up the value of the games I received, make sure that they are along the line of what I paid, whether they're below, above, or on point. Doesn't really matter. It's just fun. It's a Christmas present I get to myself every month. I love supporting the guys at Video Games Monthly because, well, they're a local Michigan company. I'm a Michigan boy. I live in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I like to help out Michigan companies. So VGM, good Michigan guys. Love Joe and the team over there. So what do you say? Let's free this from its priority mail prison, unbox it, and find out what's inside. And here we have it, folks. Video Games Monthly, the new box. There is Floyd running wild on us right there. So how this is going to happen, I'm going to open this box. I'm going to unbox what's inside. We're going to do a blind draw. Hold up the camera. I'm going to try to read what is on screen, but I use a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, so my screen is like 2 inches by 1 inch, so usually can't see it. First things first, we have our social card. Oh, and I got a 1-up this month. So what a 1-up. There are 1-ups, 2-ups, and 3-ups. What that means is you get an extra game. Basically, they do that to kind of make the value up. If they give you a pull of games and it doesn't quite get to the value, they give you an extra game, which is really cool. And this social card also tells you to share your experience with VGM online, because if you do, you'll be entered into a chance to win a free 3-up box sent directly to your front door. That's right, 3 free games for you just for sharing your experience with VGM. It also tells you to curate your list. So every game you receive, you are able to track on their website, and that means they're not going to send you duplicates in a perfect world. Now, this is a human-run company. This isn't like there aren't like video game robots in Michigan running this company. It's Joe and his team putting these boxes together, and sometimes mistakes happen. If they do, just contact customer service. They'll take care of you. They'll send you out a replacement game. You get to keep the originals, and you'll be set. Always love a good coaster because I work at my desk all day, so being able to have something I can put my drinks on to not ruin my desk, A+. Thank you, Joe. All right, so doing a blind feel, we have a Famicom, an NES, an additional NES, a Genesis, a Game Gear, and a GameCube. So I think I actually got a 2-up this time. All right, here we go. Famicom is always a crapshoot because sometimes they're in Japanese and I can't tell you what the hell it is, but Famicom, 3, 2, 1. It's yellow. Pinball. Hey, Pinball on the NES. Not bad. Okay. Not the greatest video pinball game of all time, but for an opening salvo on the NES from 1983, can't go wrong. Let's check out Pinball now on the Famicom.
Look, Pinball isn't going to win any awards for its look or its sound or its style. It is an old game that shows every single second of its age, but I'm not going to lie to you guys, it still plays relatively well for something that's 43 years old at this point. It's a fun game. It's something that when I look at it, I go, yeah, there's definitely better pinball games out there on the NES. Pinbot comes to mind. Pinbot's fantastic. Pinball Quest is fantastic. But pinball is what brought these games to the NES in the first place. This is what set the entire table for those games to be as good as they are. And there's some really cute stuff in this one. Like there's a little Mario mini game where you have to bounce the ball to kind of eliminate the things that are on screen. There's the different animals and stuff that are on screen that you're able to play around. It's a fun game, and it's cute, and it's well made at the end of the day. And really, that's pretty cool. For something, like I said, that's 43 years old, this one does really well. Pretty happy to have this one. And it's always great to get a Famicom cartridge.
All right, like I said, kind of an early release, maybe not the best example of what Nintendo's able to do, but for something that kind of launched pinball on the NES to give us games like Pinbot, I'll take it. That's okay. I'll allow it. NES game number 1, 3, 2, 1. Dragon Spirit. Solar Jetman. Very cool. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at let's take a look now at Solar Jetman on the NES.
Holy crap, Solar Jetman, where have you been my whole life? I can't count the number of times I did not pick this game up at rental stores, or now that I'm collecting more retro stuff at expos, because it's not a game that ever appealed to me. Like, just looking at it, it wasn't something that I went, oh, I should play that. And knowing now that, plugging it in and turning it on, it's developed by Rare, I should have known it was brilliant. I will say, though, when you turn this game on and you see that initial splash with kind of like the landscaping, if you had asked me who developed this by just showing me that screen and not telling me who it was, I probably would have guessed Rare, because it feels like a very Battletoads scene to me. And when you get into game, the animation of the actual guy climbing into the escape pod and firing off, very Rare. When you get into game, the movement of the actual capsule as it's moving around and it kind of like pseudo 3D effect is very much Rare. And the gameplay is amazing. One of my favorite games on the Nintendo Switch is called Gravitar, and it feels a lot like that. Like, this feels like Solar Jetman was the inspiration for that title. The gameplay is simple. You're floating around in this capsule. You're able to control it with, kind of like booster thrusters, and you have to collect objects in these different levels, and there are enemies that you have to fight, some stationary, some moving. I just love it. This is the type of game that I enjoy, and this is such a perfect NES experience that I'm seriously disappointed that I never played this when I was younger, because I would have adored this game when I was a kid. This is fantastic. This is absolutely number one game of the box to me. I just love it. This is so much fun. What a great title.
Very cool. I don't actually know if I've ever played Solar Jetman, so excited to try it out. That's a new game for me. I don't ever recall renting that one when I was younger, so being able to play it now, that's a win. All right, next NES game. 3, 2, 1. We have, God, that sun is reflecting. Section Z, Spy Hunter. I am striking out. I am actually not the biggest fan of Spy Hunter, or at least I didn't used to be. I haven't played it in years, so let's take a look now at Spy Hunter from Sunsoft. If anything, we know the music is going to be killer.
God, if it's not in the arcade, this game just doesn't click for me. This is Spy Hunter. Everyone knows Spy Hunter. Everyone knows the Peter Gunn theme. Everyone knows the gameplay. Everyone loves this game, but except me on the NES. This game is just not for me. I don't enjoy it. I have such a hard time controlling it. Like, the car just flies all over the place. It is not easy to control. It's not easy to maneuver. I don't really understand what I'm supposed to do. I never have. And it's just a disconnect from the arcade. Like, with the arcade, I can at least kind of get into it and look around the screen or on the actual play area to figure out what I need to do. But with the NES and not having an instruction manual, I don't know how I'm supposed to play it or what I'm supposed to do. And that kind of sucks. I mean, it looks good and it sounds good, and the concept of the game is something that I'm intrigued by, because I love espionage stuff. I love spy stuff. I've actually got a game coming up in the eShop Hidden Gems this month that is kind of like a spiritual descendant of Spy Hunter. It feels very close to it. And it's just, I don't know, this one just doesn't work for me. And I wish it did, because I know I'm in the vast minority on this one on the NES, and I know so many people love this one, and I don't want to yuck your yum here and tell you that it's a bad game, because it's not. It's clearly a quality title. It's just a bad game for me, and I wish I liked it more than I do.
Spy Hunter. All right, that's a classic. I know a lot of people love it. I don't share that enthusiasm, but I know a lot of people do. All right, I'm always excited to get Game Gear stuff, so we're going to check Game Gear now. I am kind of new to the Game Gear collecting scene. I just got a Game Gear a couple of years ago for my birthday. It's a system I always wanted growing up, so anytime I can get something added to it is excellent, because I never played it growing up. Every game is brand new to me. All right, 3, 2, 1. That's a Sonic. Sonic Chaos. Okay. I have no idea what Sonic Chaos is. But anytime there's a Sonic game, I'm happy, because I want to collect every single Sonic game. Let's take a look now at Sonic Chaos.
I have really enjoyed the different Sonic games on the Game Gear. I have, I think, 4 of them now. 3, well, maybe 4 Sonic games and a Tails game. I don't know. I have a fair number of them. I get really excited finding Game Gear games I've never played. And like I said, that's pretty much all of them. I know nothing about this console, and I love getting stuff for it, because it's brand new to me at 46 years old. These are completely new games, and that's super cool to experience for something that is released in the 90s. It's fun. And Sonic Chaos here is actually a really solid Sonic game. Like, there's some limitations, obviously. Like, the console is not as powerful as the Genesis, so it's not as pretty, and the controls aren't as good, and you're working with a very limited screen size as opposed to what you had on the Genesis, which was able to display a lot more. But once you kind of get used to that, and you kind of, take the inherent kind of like limitations that the console puts in front of you, and you realize it's not going to play like Sonic 2 or Sonic 3 or anything like that. You have to kind of retrain your brain on how this game is going to work. You find yourself with an incredibly solid Sonic the Hedgehog game in the palm of your hand. And that's really awesome. It's fun, man. Like, I loved the design of this game. I love the look of this game. It feels like Sonic, just a little bit different. And that is perfect for what we were looking for with this game. Really, really excited to have this. The march towards every Sonic game being in my collection moves forward. Sonic Chaos on the Game Gear, that's an A+ for me. Check this one out if you haven't had the chance.
All right, another Game Gear title. All right, we're going to do GameCube last. Let's go Genesis next. It's a short stack cartridge, so it's not going to be an EA game. Let's find out now. 3, 2, 1. That is Foreman for Real Boxing. Oh, no, James Buster Douglas Boxing. I remember playing this when I was younger, but I don't remember anything about it. Let's take a look now at Buster Douglas Boxing.
James Buster Douglas Boxing, or as I called it during the intro, James Duster Douglas, is a valiant attempt at trying to make a different type of boxing game, because I think everyone was kind of pretenders to the throne after Mike Tyson's Punch-Out released on the NES. There was nothing really that anyone was going to put out that was going to ever equal Punch-Out. So we had stuff like Ring King that Data East developed on the NES. That was a very different take on boxing. And then we had something like James Buster Douglas Boxing on the Genesis. That is a very different take on boxing for a video game console. And unfortunately, it doesn't really stick the landing or land a haymaker or get a knockout punch. I'm running out of analogies here, but it's something where I look at it and there's only like 4 or 5 characters to choose from. There's only one actual boxer with James Buster Douglas. The gameplay is kind of a glorified button mashing game. Like, I couldn't find a rhythm or a cadence like you can kind of naturally with Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. It just wasn't there. And again, it's a different type of game, so maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way to be able to play it, but I don't know. It just didn't click for me. I'm sure there's people out there that love this game, and there's probably some secrets to this game that I'm just not putting together, or a gameplay style to this game that I'm not putting together. I just didn't have fun with it, and that's unfortunate, because I really wanted to. I'm going to keep trying it, though, because I do love getting sports games, and this is one of those classic Genesis games that I never played growing up, so I want to give it some more time. So if you're a big fan of James Buster Douglas Boxing, let me know in the comments down below. What kind of stuff should I look out for? I'd love to hear from you.
I don't hate getting sports games, actually. I actually really enjoy sports games. So to get that is pretty cool. It's a classic Genesis game. I might hate it. I might love it. We'll find out together. All right. And now we have the final game. This is a GameCube game, as you can see here. Nothing else in the box save for some bubble wrap. And now it's on the floor. All right. GameCube feels complete in box, nice and hefty. 3, 2, 1. God damn it. I hate Monopoly. I absolutely hate Monopoly. I think it's the worst board game ever made. I am less than thrilled about Monopoly Party, but that's not a fault of VGM, for the record. This is just karma. I haven't gotten a Monopoly game in a while, so there we go. Let's take a look now at Monopoly Party on the GameCube.
And this is some kind of just cosmic practical joke here, because after everything in this box, to get a complete in box GameCube game where the disc is immaculate and the manual is fantastic and the box is in just pristine condition, and for have it to be Monopoly Party of all games, God, man, like, and I know it's not anyone messing with me or anything like that. This is just luck of the draw, but God, do I hate getting Monopoly games. But as always, for people that will say, oh, they just send you the good stuff, I don't ask them to send me specific titles. I don't stuff the ballot on what games I have in my collection. Everything is accurate to what I actually own or have owned in the past. If I haven't owned it, or if I have owned it and I don't want it again, I will check that box off. I will admit that. But for stuff that I have never played, I don't mark it off, because I don't think that's fair. That's not a fair experience. That's not a fair representation of what the service offers. And I don't want to lie to you guys as for the stuff I'm getting, because honestly, that would be kind of shitty, right? Like, it would be completely disingenuous, and I don't want to do that to you. So by me getting a game like Monopoly Party, please understand that I loathe Monopoly. So receiving this should really prove that I don't get a stuffed box from VGM. There's no preferential treatment here from Joe, to tell the truth. I will say, there are certain things that this game does that are at least unique for what Monopoly offers. There are different board game options. I'm not on camera, so this doesn't matter, Meredith.
I'm so mad right now.
So my wife just walked in holding a sign that says "Send more Monopoly XOXOX totally J," but I'm filming with a microphone, so she's not going to be able to see this. What was the inspiration for this one?
Because you love Monopoly.
I loathe Monopoly.
Love.
I loathe.
Love.
No, she doesn't know how to spell very well, so it's not love, it's loathe.
Love.
See, she's spelling love, but it's actually Loathe. I hate this board game. It's my least favorite board game. I do think that this does some actually clever stuff. Having the different settings and the different kind of visuals that you can have for each of the different boards, having the different pieces based on the settings that you have, the different hotels and houses that you can put down based on the setting. I think that's clever. But at the end of the day, it's just Monopoly. And that sucks.
Disc is immaculate, looks fantastic. It is complete in box, comes with a manual. I can't really complain too much about that. The worst thing that's going to happen is that I'm going to flip this. I'll trade it into a local shop and I'll use it to get something else. But let's go over now to price charting. We'll add everything up and we'll find out whether I came out ahead, behind, or if I was right on the money. I'll be right back.
Go to the Winchester, have a nice cold pint, and wait for all this to blow over.
And I am back. And in a shocking turn of events, it was the first time I think I have ever gotten a box. Came out to an even number. An even $47, which does put me a little bit behind the 8-ball, but that's okay, in grand scheme of things. There's some games in here I'm really excited to play. So I am counting this as a win from the gameplay department, maybe not so much the value department, which your mileage may vary if that gets under your skin. It's a risk you have to be willing to take. If you're not willing to take it, don't do it. For me, this is one small miss in a otherwise fantastic year so far from VGM. Let me know in the comments down below what game you think is the best that I got this month. Which one would you be excited to play yourself? I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. Engagement helps the channel out a ton. If you really enjoyed it, give it a subscription. Love to have you stick around on the way to 18K. I do this video every month. I've been doing this for almost 5 years now with VGM videos. So yeah, if you enjoyed this happens the first week of every month. I'd love to have you stick around and check things out. So until next time, folks, I've been Jay. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. Remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.